my computer. There you go. Now I have control. So welcome everybody. This is our last meeting of 2022. This is kind of, it went, I don't know, it kind of went fast from when we started, I think. So we have one graduate that we're definitely going to say, hopefully you'll come back and visit us and tell, so we can live vicariously through your experience, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, just love some people coming in. So we have some new members tonight. So let's introduce everybody. So who would like to go first?
Where's
Go ahead, Dempsey. Stop staring at each other. Go ahead.
They said go.
Oh, hi, Pat and Bonnie Dempsey, and we're currently up in DC, but working on our plans for coming down there.
Wonderful. And where are you located? Where is your lot located?
We're
It's a lot 481, which is
4190 Fallen Pear.
So you're on Fallen Pear.
yeah.
Very cool. And have you chosen a builder yet?
We have.
Yep, we're looking at Haygood Homes.
Okay, awesome. That's very exciting. And when is your move-in idea?
Oh,
I think
it's probably
April.
early 24.
Early 24. Okay. All right, awesome. And let's see. Who else do I have here that's new to our group? I see the smile, Lori. It's okay. You can't, it's, I come from a theater direction background. I see everything going on. So please introduce yourself to everybody. Tell us about yourselves.
I'm Lori. This is my husband, Joe. Hello. We're originally from Buffalo. We gave up our shovel and moved to Leland about 2 months ago. Just signed with Kent for a lot 176 on Golden Pear, and we hope to be in a year.
Very exciting. So did you get out before the last big storm?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God, congratulations. I have friends who are up there that own alpacas, and it was not a good storm. It was not that any of the Buffalo storms are good storms, but well, definitely welcome. We're excited to have you here, and there's a lot of good stuff. Anybody have any major and other major announcements that they just want to throw out there right now before we get started on stuff? Okay, so I thought
good milestone for us. We've broken ground.
Yay!
Wow, that's exciting.
That's awesome.
It's nice. Footers are going in right now.
So now, are you going to be going over to are you going to be going to see anything? Do you have a trip planned anytime soon? I know that was a big deal for you getting there.
Well, we were out in September and we did a kind of a pre-tour of the various vendors. So we're with Southern Pines, and the Southern Pines process is he's got his preferred vendors, and we do a tour of those vendors and choose various things. And so we did a prelim, kind of a final for some of it, but prelim, and the next big move, the next big event is the framing walkthrough, which we have to be there in person to go through and see all of that good stuff. So we're hoping February, maybe March, and then we'll go through and do the whole. We'll make sure the cabinets that we chose and the appliances that we chose and all the various things that we need to do. But that'll hold it February.
Okay, cool. So how many, I think many of us that are on the call right now were at the POA meeting. Was there any, so if you weren't there, raise your hand. Michael, you don't count. Okay, all right. So.
Yes, you do, Michael.
Hey, Alice.
No, I don't think I really do.
No, not in that particular situation. I see puppy's paws. So I just wanted to go over a couple of just general things that came out of the meeting. And anybody that was there, please feel free to, to interject because this is a happy meeting. I'm going to share the one big slide that I thought was the most important that came from the meeting, which was, you don't need to see my stupid pictures. What, can everybody see that? That's the big, the big accounting slide that everybody waits for. So it's pretty clear, how many home sites are pending, blah, blah, blah. So this number over here, I thought was kind of an interesting number, and anybody that was there, feel free to jump in, that there's 81 custom homes pending, and last year only 13 homes closed. Does anybody have any insight on that
Robin?
particular?
Hey, Robin, it
Yes,
says on the bottom, resale closed 34. So I'm not sure where that number comes from. That sounds like a lot of resales. Is that property or those?
no, that's
homes?
resale of properties.
Oh, okay,
That's not homes. That's
Yeah,
resale of
that's
properties.
lots.
Those are lots, yeah.
okay.
Those are the lots. So does anybody have any insight on what that means? Like Sean, did you find that number to be a little low?
I thought it was. I really did. I thought I thought there was a lot more housing in there also. As in what they say there was,
120 or something like that.
yeah, something like that, maybe.
How many families
So-
did they say lived in there?
Well, 115. As of the
115.
meeting, the number was 115, actively in their homes, 115 families. Nobody really seemed to ask a lot of questions as far as that was concerned. You will be getting, for those of you who are new to the process, you will be getting a deck, you'll be getting an email with right before they ask you for your dues. You'll be getting the whole printout of all the information of everything that we saw. A couple of answers to some questions that have been, Nina,
Yes.
did you have something? Did you ask a question? Oh, like some of the questions, the second pool, that was a biggie, right? That was the big reveal. So here is the answer to the rumor about the second pool. So the developer will not be building the second pool. They have left space for it. The last remaining empty space, which is over by the playground, would have to be moved again, but there's a space there that once the developers turn over the community, it would be up to the homeowners association to build a second pool. In the clubhouse, they said that it's supposed to be starting, I think, like around January, and within a year. So they're hoping that by the meeting next December, that it's almost finished. There was a little bit of pushback about that. It's going to be when it's going to be. The mailboxes are now fully functional. I've gotten some emails from some people wanting to know why they all had to be in one place. I don't have an answer for that, but that's where they are. And the reason that there was no more space to build the clubhouse bigger is because of by law, they have to have a certain number of parking spaces for the for the size of the. They are also putting in a commercial kitchen. So they are planning to put in a pay-to-go restaurant with somebody else running it that won't be open all the time. So I thought that was an interesting addition to everything that they were talking about. They were talking about the roads and everything else. Has anybody been over to the Bluffs in the last week?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, it's like the search. I still have not heard if my road was started. It was supposed to have been started, but it's like eventually the roads will be built and my house can get started. So that's what I'm waiting for that as well. Really exciting things that are going on. I don't know how many of you have been following the development of the Community Watch program. Hands, anybody?
Yes. I've read a
Okay.
little bit. I've not
Right.
went to the meetings, but I've read what dudes posted.
Yes, so I had a very long conversation with the gentleman who was running it. He is going to come to one of our meetings early next year. They're actually having a meeting there tonight, which is why a lot of people aren't here, because they went to the Community Watch if they're in Leland. It's a phenomenal program. It's very exciting. The answer is no, they didn't start it because there's a whole crime spree going on at the Bluffs. So that's
They
not-
actually posted all the crime stats out of there, and they were cute, how low they were.
Yeah,
It was
so-
nice to see.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. Please, 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 join. There's two things to keep you in the loop. There's the Team Reach for the Neighborhood Watch, which is BNW77. So everything is in there. It's super, super comprehensive. The gentleman who's running it is ex-military, police department, and he does security systems for different municipalities. So he's very involved in all of this. He's done this before. They've been living in the community for about 8 years. He and his wife, so they really know the place. The other is the Facebook group for the community. I think it's called
Living in the Bluffs.
Living in the Bluffs. So we've got the truth about living in the Bluffs, and now living in the Bluffs. So, so just put in Bluffs and just join almost everything that's there. But really, he's been really wonderful. There's a lot of tremendously wonderful free things that we have availability for from the sheriff's office in Leland. So, the more that you know, and he's gonna, as I said, he's gonna come and talk. There's free, so they're doing all kinds of self-defense classes for women. If you're going away on vacation and you want the sheriff's office to come by and check your house, you can sign up with them when you're away, and they'll come and they'll check your house for free. I can't even get my neighbors to take in my paper, never mind drive by my house. So there's a lot of really exciting things, and the reasons that they're doing this, it was posted that some people have been having difficulty with workers possibly sleeping in houses again. That seems to be the big issue. Sean, are you hearing anything about that?
I hadn't. This is the first I've
Yeah.
heard of that.
Yeah, well, and again, these are all things, and this is why there have been some vans. It was on the Facebook page. There have been some workmen's vans that were parked for a number of days, and they weren't moving. They had no license plates on them, so the POA was involved. This is the kind of stuff that a neighborhood watch is. Why they're starting it, because they want to start it before there's bigger problems. So the POA is involved. The people in the community are involved to prevent things from happening before they potentially become a problem. So he's going to come. He's going to give a presentation to our group and answer any questions. And he's super chill and really believes that this is the time for us to just do it before there are problems, so that we're aware. As of January 1st, the rules are changing at the front gate. All of the trucks and the builders will be needing to come through the other gate. They will have specific codes for them. They can leave through the front, but they must come in through that side gate. What's the name of that road? Anybody remember that?
Head Sail, is it Head Sail Way or something like that?
Well, Head Sail Way, but you come down a different road
Oh,
to go in Head Sail Way. And it was interesting because when I put in because they just opened that entrance, when I GPSed my address, it wanted me to go in through Head Sail Way,
Oh.
which I thought was interesting because the last time that I did it, It
We haven't
wasn't.
been out that way, have we?
Not out. but we were-
I- Well, so we will be able to leave through that gate. We just won't be able to come in at this time.
Right.
Eventually, there'll be more codes that will be released and we'll be able to have access to that. But right now, they're just trying to retrain the front gate. And then anybody going in and out. Nina, have you noticed, like, when the couple of times when you've been going in, evidently the gate stays open, from what I understand, when there's motion going through it. So people are going through when you go through. So if somebody's right behind you, like some of the work people just go in without waiting for the code. So they're trying to retrain the front.
We
you know,
didn't
the-
even have we just got our code when we were just there like a week ago. We got
Oh,
our code.
good. Okay.
We were stopped at the
Robin.
front gate forever trying to get situated with a code. So, but you're right about the GPS. It was trying to send us around and I was like, we're not gonna be able to get in that way because we can't even get in the front gate. So,
So for
Robin,
those, yes,
Robin,
Mike.
it's called Hooper Road.
Hooper Road. It's Hooper
Right.
Road that goes through Head Sale. Now, for those people who are newer, you can email the front gate. You know, so you don't have to worry about that. But there's a lot of new things going on at the front gate.
So is the only way in with a code, or do they have like a fob or something that you can?
Well, so there's two
You can
different
buy the
things.
fob.
There's always a guard for up until I think like 6 o'clock, 5 or 6
Five.
o'clock.
5, I think.
Till
think
5 o'clock to, if you don't have a code, to let you in. You have to fill out a form. So the next time you're there, or you can just stop at the gate and ask for the form. You can choose your code. But all of that stuff is in, it's on the portal. Now, have you signed up? You're in the portal, right? You're on the owner's portal? Yeah, I thought so. So all that information is in there. You just have to tool around. But if you need information, text me, call me, whatever, and I'll be happy to share that.
All right.
So
You get the code and then you can eventually buy a fob, but there was no point in us buying a fob because we're not even living there. So you can just use the code and type it in when you go in. But yeah, I guess if you live there regularly, you'd get the fob and pay for it.
right, it was like $250 or whatever. And supposedly, eventually, the fob will also work for Head Sale Way. It'll eventually, not for a while, but it eventually will be connected. The RV lot, that was a whole other thing. The RV lot is one space per house, and it must be used by the people who own the lot. Because evidently I had heard, and I thought at some point that someone was complaining that that it was full already and that they weren't able to get anything in there. And evidently people were like telling their friends if they weren't using it, they were letting their friends use it. So now it's one spot, it has to be yours. There are, I want to say, they said there was like about 40 or 50 spots left. I think, was that the number that we heard, Randy? Like something around that. There were a lot of spots left over.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact number because there's another parcel that they're going to be expanding into. So I don't recall how many are left in the current one. It's
But
on the
they-
order. Sounds about-
I had heard that they were like, they were all gone. And I was like, whoa, that can't possibly be. And then I guess they re-released, like they took care of that whole situation. They're working to finish the pavilion over by the Riverwalk. And is there anybody who hasn't seen the Riverwalk yet?
We haven't.
Oh, it's really pretty. It's really beautiful. So make sure that you get down there. So a lot of things are in progress. A lot of things are being built. And again, you'll see all of this stuff. Evidently, every time a lot gets sold through the Bluffs, the developer puts 1 year's worth of dues in an account eventually for us, moving forward for the homeowners association. So they're hoping to leave about somewhere within a range of about $500,000 in a working fund for the community to have to start when we take over. So that was another number that was thrown out. Anything else that was vital that anybody remembers that I didn't touch on that? I mean, and as I said, you guys are going to get minutes of everything.
Hey, Robin,
Yes.
Can I say something about the code? So
Sure.
if you're using the code at the kiosk, you have to use the pound key first. Otherwise, you're going to get me.
Okay.
So if any of you called and said, hello, I'm trying to get in the gate. And I said, oh, you need to contact it was me, because if you don't put in that code, evidently somehow it goes to my phone. Isn't
Well,
that weird?
because you know why?
Yeah.
Because what happens is that if
Lucky
somebody,
you.
yeah, if somebody puts in your code the
The
wrong way,
welcoming committee.
it'll
Yeah.
call you, because if somebody's trying to get into the gate
Yeah.
after hours, they have to call you, and then you're gonna have some kind of a code to put in to open the gate.
Yeah, there's also, I don't remember, maybe somebody else knows, there's a way to remotely open the gate if you have a guest. I don't remember how that actually works. I mean, we don't live there, and it's not gonna be an issue for a
Yeah,
while.
so you know what, Jackie, when you figure this out, hopefully you'll come back and you'll tell us all about how to let our company come in.
Okay.
I'll be sitting on my property,
Right, 'cause they don't want us
in a
getting
lawn
kids out.
chair and a folding table. So, and
Well,
I'll-
everybody gets a guest code too, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
we got it.
but remotely, I'm not sure how it's done.
No.
that'll be kind of interesting. Alice, you had a question?
Yes, so is there like a time frame when it becomes an HOA instead, where it's a homeowners, or when are they expecting that to happen? Is there
So
any?
Michael and I were doing some math the other night. So when 90%,
We
Of
heard, right, so this is what we heard 1 year ago, when we went to the meeting last year. I forgot who, maybe it was Doug said something, or we were talking with somebody, and their goal was that, maybe it was Matt, when they hit 85 or 90% of the properties sold, that's when they want to start to turn it over. So they've got quite a ways to go. I
Okay.
mean, what have they sold? Maybe a few hundred out of the 650 or something, that's their target. They're probably going to still be there for more than just 1 or 2 years.
yeah, so they were talking, their projection was about 5 years. So they'll still be there. They have to complete all of the things that they need to complete. Like that's
Okay.
part of their goal. All the things that they were promising to do, all the pathways, all the bridges, all the amenities that were coming in are all on them.
And wait, and don't forget, they've only built what, 10 boat slips out of what's supposed to be 50, I think, eventually. So there's
Yeah.
quite a bit of work to be done.
Well, they said that they've been pulling back on that because none of them have sold.
Well, it's pretty pricey.
So,
Yeah, I haven't heard a price. I actually talked to Matt a couple weeks ago, and they said he said that they have not figured out whether they're going to sell them or lease them or both.
That's
so
a change.
yeah,
Sean.
last-
Original plan was both.
was both.
Mhm.
Last year, I think Doug got up there and was saying how they were supposed to be like 30 or 35, and then the price went up to like 70. And,
It was
so it
more
was
than-
like a,
Holy sh-
It was
That-
higher.
yeah,
They had problems with the footings, so the pilings, so it cost them more money to put the pilings in. So that's why the price of the slips went up.
so that seems.
What I heard.
Yeah, that seems to be a changing discussion. I think that the people who live on the water get first choice at the ones. Is anybody here building on the water besides the races?
We are.
Yeah, they're 2 doors down from us,
Oh, okay.
but I mean, we don't have any special rights to those lots or those slips, because we have dockable lots.
Oh,
So
okay.
there are others that are like on Crab Catcher that are waterfront, but you cannot put a dock in. So at one point, we heard they were gonna get priority. Now, how they implement that, I have no idea.
So, yeah, so there's still a lot of things that are fluid. I think they're going to be around for a while. They still have a lot of building and work and things that they're going to do. One of the things that was started, I think we talked about this last month, was the Bragg group. So if everyone's familiar with Bragg, Michael, Bragg stands for,
Bluffs Residents Assistance Group.
okay. So if you've seen anything that's been going on, the Bragg was kind of planned and started so that there would be kind of an interaction between the community and the POA. Because otherwise people are just sending emails. People are getting frustrated because Doug's not answering them or Pat's not answering them. So the committee, we put things out to the committee. Like somebody had asked me, could you find out why the retention ponds have been so low? And I brought it to, because they've asked me to sit on the Bragg. So I am the representative for our group to the community. So this way, all of your questions will get to the right people if you have questions. So I brought it to the Bragg group and it was actually addressed at the meeting. They brought it up at the meeting. So the system worked. And it has been, some of them are, I'm trying to remember exactly the terminology that they use, but they are retention ponds, but some of them are for drainage, some of them, you know, there's reasons for it, but I think there's been a drought. The entire, you know, community it has been having issues with water. And some of them are meant for drainage. So if they don't fill them, that nature fills them.
It sounded like there were a couple that were spring fed too, Robin.
Yep. And so, but the springs have been lower as well.
Right.
So, anybody have any insight to how that, Kevin, how that's supposed to work so that people understand it? Anybody living near one of those retention ponds?
Yeah, they're mainly put in there for drainage to help, you know, so there's not a lot of overflow on the property. So that's code now. Everybody, they have to put so many retention ponds per square footage of the properties. So, but and they did say they were low. A lot of that's due because of they've been in a drought for, you know, X amount of months right now. So, but the one in front of our house, it seemed to be pretty high,
Oh, cool.
higher than normal when we've been there before.
Okay, at least it won't be snow runoff. For those of us who live in snow, at least it won't be from snow. The last thing that I was asked to share with everybody from Bob Conger is for those of you who are going to be moving, do not get rid of your tools. Just because you think you're not going to be needing tools. The community is trying to get Doug to build us a community tool shed. That would be like for emergencies, whether it's on the property, whether somebody needs something, they're building something. So we're hoping that they'll build it in a location that is convenient to everybody. So if you have tools that you would like to donate, you know, just hold on to them before you get rid of them. And Bob Conger is the person, and anybody that needs his information, I'll be happy to share that information with you. So he's working on trying to get them to do all of that. And then I'm going to leave you with the last cool thing, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. There have been gorgeous bald eagles around and bald eagle babies. So yeah, it's really cool. So so if you want the Bluffs birding group, if you're kind of, you know, you want to just channel and see that is BB77. So it's been extremely cool, and they have been seeing young and adult bald eagles. So this is, you know, I thought that was kind of a nerdy, you know, really cool, but a cool thing, because there is some beautiful wildlife around there. So have at it. Anybody have anything they want to share? Any questions they want to ask?
We got our house framed up.
Yay.
Yep.
And
So we're waiting, I guess, waiting on the inspection for after that. Now, I guess they put the roof on, or a roof, and then whatever. So
does it look bigger or smaller than you thought?
It looks bigger. It looked like when just the foundation was there, it was small. Now it looks big. It's going to go through all the phases, I think.
see if I can get it.
Oh, wow. Hold it next to you. Wow, it looks great.
Yeah, they did it in like 2 weeks.
It went up quick.
So that's what framing looks like.
Yeah, right?
Alice, that's what framing looks like. It's one day.
They frame fast. I feel like
Yeah.
everything happened in like 3 weeks and then nothing's gonna happen now for 3 more months. That's how I feel.
Sean, what lot are you on? Sean,
11.
211. Oh,
Yes.
big, 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 big.
How big is the property?
A half acre, about 2,500 square foot.
Ah,
So yeah, it's very interesting. This was the first, when I was down this last time, they had taken off the tree, and when they put in the utilities, they like mowed down a lot of the trees, which had to go because like the house has to go someplace.
Mhm.
And it was a totally different perspective of
Yeah.
the property. You know,
Yeah, I don't have an open mind. I couldn't even see it until they did all that.
But it was so bizarre because I've been spending so much time looking, and that's my dirt. That's our dirt behind me. That's
Yeah.
what it used to look like. It doesn't look like that anymore. But it was so weird because I've been spending so much time just walking straight back, right? We were just walking in the length. All of a sudden, they're like, it goes all the way over there and it goes all the way over. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize it was there because all I've been looking at was one big thing of woods. And now it's a whole very different perspective.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah, you got to get repositioned in everything. So I made my builders stand where like my front porch was. I wanted to know what the view from my front porch was. It was very strange, very, very strange. So is anybody else doing anything, you know, new? Kevin, where are you guys in your build?
We were there in November and it was a foundation, and now it is, we've got walls, shingles, all the windows are in, HVAC's in, plumbing, rough end plumbings is done. Electrical should be maybe next 2 weeks. So we've seen a lot of progress. We're pretty excited. So yeah,
That's very exciting. So do you have
Yep.
like an estimated?
they're still saying May or June. But I know they've got about 100 houses are going to close before the end of the year. So that's going to free up a bunch of crews as well. So
May I ask who your builder was?
we're built with Bill Clark,
Gotcha.
Legacy Homes. And
We
the one
signed
next
our-
door, Sandy and Brian Nuts, they should be in probably, I think, end of the month. They're Bill Clark also.
We signed our contract in July of 2021, and we're still 60 to 90 days out.
With Bill Clark?
Nope,
Okay.
Nope, and nope. So,
Southern Pines.
and you're still 60 to 90 days out.
Mhm.
So where is the house right now?
No doors, it has windows, partial siding, has a roof. It's straight, just got drywalled right before the POA meeting when we came down. We stopped coming down for 4 months because we were getting frustrated. He's on notice right now to finish. But he's got, I don't want to make it a gripe session, so I won't do
Oh,
that.
hey,
right
listen, this is here, you know, to share information and possibly be able, because we, you know, we're all going back and forth at different times. Where are you living now?
We have a home in Northern Virginia outside of Washington. So we're going to be maintaining a house in the DC area as well as the one in North Carolina. So we have a home, but our stuff is all in storage and has been for almost a year now. Because we thought it was going down there.
Yeah, you know, we've been hearing some stories and you know, some things that have been going on. And I think that it's important that, you know, people share certain information just in case, you know, if someone's going down next, you know, if you need pictures, if you need, you know, if you need something. I know that I had a long talk with Tim Burns, who's not here this evening, and he's practically there every day. And he told me they're actually going away on a vacation because he needs to get away from being obsessive about going there every day.
Well, our
He
neighbor,
had to
has-
drive 12 hours one way. He wouldn't be there every day.
Well, he's living in, you know, they're living there.
he's
you
our
know,
neighbor.
He's your neighbor, okay.
Yeah, we met him at the homeowner association
Oh, cool.
meeting, and he signed his contract 2 months before ours, so we feel even worse for him.
So, that's why I'm saying that I think that it's important, and part of the purpose of this group was also to be able to share information and to, whine and complain because it's not going anywhere. And we have to share information with each other. I mean, again, I'm still waiting. When we bought our property, Michael, when did they tell us the road would be done?
It was gonna, we purchased our property in July and they said it would be in the following May, which is now, 7 months ago. And so they're not even, I guess they're gonna start paving. It's imminent. So they're way behind just the paving schedule. They told us May slipped to July, July slipped to August, August became November, November passed, we're in December, blah, blah, blah. And now here we are, and we're still waiting for blacktop or pavement.
Well, I mean, the big news was that they presented our plan, that they turned in our plans. That was a biggie. Like that was huge. They finally turned in our plans to the committee. So I guess we're getting closer. They've put in for the permits and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're not planning on moving down until probably end of 2024. So it's not an emergent situation. But it sounds to me like there are a number of people who are in that position about, that they're renting and they've got stuff in storage, and there's a high frustration about, things that are going on over there. So I'm assuming that you probably have been speaking to a lot of other people about what's going on. So if anybody needs pictures, certainly post them on the Team Reach. When I was down there for the POA meeting, went granite shopping and had a close encounter of the very first kind. It was wonderful. Yeah, that was kind of cool. And we liked it, if anybody's looking for that. And then I had a really wonderful experience over at Bayside Lighting. So if anybody is up, needs.
Write that down.
Sorry?
No, I was like, oh, write that down.
Yes, no, absolutely. Each of the builders has, I think if they're working with Bayside, and Bayside, I mean, you can go online and put together a wish list in their website.
Oh,
So
good.
that when you go there, they can pull up your wish list and show you all the things that you saw that you liked, as long as it's there. I think each of the builders has a salesperson, I think, that they work with. If they work with Bayside, we worked with a wonderful, her name is Nicole. So if your builder doesn't have a relationship there, ask for Nicole, tell them, just tell her Robin sent you, because she was amazing. She's an ex-New Yorker. Hates New York, doesn't ever want to come back to New York, but she gets it. And they had a really nice selection, really great pricing. Nadine, what did you think? What did you think of the selection at that place?
At the granite place that we met you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. I think it was okay. They didn't have what I was
Franchetti. It was Franchetti.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be going to more places. We're gonna be down the second weekend or the second week in January for our selections, which takes 3 days, but we're staying down for a whole week because I have a feeling that we're gonna end up having to go to multiple places to find the right thing.
Yeah, especially for granite, as we discussed with you, Rob.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so we're probably there's a couple of different places locally. We're probably going to end up, where is it, Michael?
It's in Ashboro.
In Ashboro.
Wow.
right, you gave us the name of that place and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, we have a lot of
We have a
notes. but-
place to go, yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully, I mean, before we go down there, we're not that close yet. Anybody else have like any insight in some fabulous granite places that they went? Vicky, where did you guys go?
What are we looking for?
I trusted all in their design center.
Okay, so you picked everything that was in their design center.
Yeah.
You need to flip it. Well, we can't.
Vicky, did they give you a close date for your house at some kind of a
a date? No, they haven't really changed it. Originally it had said March. So
23.
they're supposed to be putting the insulation in now. I think they're waiting on the inspectors to come before they insulate. So,
That's exciting.
yeah.
Anybody else have any granite places that they went to that they've seen that they want to share? Jackie, where did you get yours?
We got ours at the design center as well.
Okay. So, yeah, so anybody that, that, and that's one of the things that, if anybody has Kevin, where did you guys get yours?
We are going through the design center, but we said that if that's such a statement piece, if they told us we could decide what we wanted to, they're going to of what they picked out. If we didn't like it, we get another one. We could choose something else. We've actually requested to go to the granite showroom to pick out our own granite, whatever level we want, but because we want some, it's a statement piece. We want a really nice piece of granite. So, but they've agreed to that. Once they get the cabinets in and they template it, they'll let us know and we can go up and see the granite. I didn't know the granite. I'm not sure where the showroom is, but it's up near Raleigh, Durham, I believe. You said several hours away. But we'll head up there.
It's probably Ashboro.
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure, but it's like, so once we get that, okay, we'll go up and actually choose it then. So we've got something picked out, but if we don't like it, we're going to go ahead and change it. So
Schneider was the place that we originally had gone in Wilmington, and Schneider's, so Nadine, the place in Ashboro is Schneider up in
I remember
Ashboro.
that name now that you say it, but we didn't have time, or they were closed actually when we were there.
Yeah, it's it was Schneider was much more for the courts, and also for like almost like the builder level. They had a selection, but he's the one that sent me to go see Franchetti because they work with them. And Schneider is the one that my builder works with. And she said, you're going to end up in Ashboro. She says, because that's where it's like a huge, because it's up near, there's a whole bunch of them in Raleigh.
Okay. And that's what, 2 hours from Wilmington-ish?
Yes.
Yeah, Ashboro, I'm looking at the map, is, I think it's over an hour from Raleigh, Durham, but not much more than an hour. I think maybe about an hour and 20 minutes maybe. And it's west. I'm looking at the map. It's between Charlotte and Raleigh, Durham, probably like halfway.
Greensboro, High Point, that area.
64.
Has anybody been to the furniture place yet up in Hickory? Like all those furniture outlets? Has anybody done that experience?
spend some time in Hickory. It's a beautiful town.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a cute little town.
Did you go to did you go to those?
No, we
ginormous
didn't.
mall?
We checked out some mid-century modern places we were looking at. So, but no, we haven't checked out all the furniture places yet.
Furniture Land South is probably the best.
Which one?
Furniture Land South.
I'm on their mailing list, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So you've been there? Have you your eye on some stuff?
We've been there probably 10 years ago, but we've got a lot of furniture there.
So what's it called? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Furniture Land South.
Furniture Land.
It's one of the biggest showrooms in North Carolina.
Oh, I'm gonna look that up. Thank you.
I think we should plan a road trip. I think we should all meet there and take over a hotel and all go up there and meet, and we'll go looking at furniture, and because it just seems like it's a whole weekend up there,
Negotiate a group discount.
There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
listen, you know what? I'm happy to ask. If I tell them that we're all coming up at the same time, we'll do the best that we can. But if, honestly, if anybody has any information and if they go to see something really fabulous, please feel free to share it with the group, because we're all in the same boat, and then we're all going to go see Jackie's house. We're all going to stay over at Jackie's house. But it's
Yeah.
we'll have what is the address actually? So when we all come down, we can just come say hi.
Did she ask us?
Yeah.
3825 Silver Melon, but the easy way to say it is it's right on the corner of Fallen Pear.
Fallen Pear and Silver Melon.
Oh, very cool. Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good.
I have a question for the group. We have pets. And so of course I'm thinking, what am I gonna do for fencing? What is everybody doing for fencing? Are they looking at electrical fencing or what do people do?
I mean, we've seen mostly black metal fence, low, which is what we had intended to do for our lot.
Not through your whole property,
No,
just like a
the back,
section of it?
They closed the back. And there
Okay.
are some restrictions now in some sections where you can't have, like a stockade kind of fence. So it depends where you are.
Okay.
And
I was
also when
just-
you bought your lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same with
Anything-
restricting
It
that.
runs about 24 bucks a square linear foot, so just be aware of that.
Okay, 24 bucks. All right.
The black fencing is what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
And that's HOA required.
And that's an HOA that you either get, like they just said, like our section is only the black fencing. And it's like a fake wrought iron fence.
Yeah, I think it's aluminum.
Do they have like actual vendors that they make you use or you pick your own? and
No,
just-
you can pick your own, but I think,
You can pick your own. It depends on your builder. Like, we're going with Hey Good Homes and they have somebody that they work with. But we haven't done that trade yet to evaluate using their supplier versus doing it ourselves. And it's hard if you're trying to build a house from far away. We're 6 hours away. It's kind of hard to do. And by going through the builder, that it's put in at the right time and it's more likely to be sited properly.
And you get there and it's done.
Yeah, you get there and it's done. So there's some definitely some benefit for us to do that, but we haven't done that cost trade yet.
Pam, you've been so quiet. You've been so quiet. What's going on with you guys? Where are you in your build? What's going on? Share.
You talking to us?
Yes.
Well, I contacted Ray from Trust Builders. That's who we're going with. And I told him our goal is to move in May to June of 2024 because we figure we'll put our house up for sale here in Maryland in the spring. It's still a hot market up here, we think, and we should sell it pretty quick. But he said they're only 7 months out. He said don't come up until May, June to sign a contract. So that's where we're going to go up. I guess we'll go up in June and sign, and we should be moving in 2024 of June.
2024 is going to be a busy year.
Yeah. So
Sean, when are you guys slated to possibly move in?
I'm gonna say June, July, that area somewhere.
Very cool.
That's what, who was the guy who's been held up? He has the UNCW sweatshirt.
Tim. With Tim
He's on
Burns?
here now? No. The guy that's on here now, he has.
That's me.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce
At what point did you
Bruce.
stall? Because we have the same builder.
What point did we stall?
Yes.
The day we signed with Ted. At the time,
Well, I feel like we're moving along as planned. Maybe he's gotten his poop in a group by now. I don't know.
No.
Maybe things are going smoother now.
When did you sign? When did you sign?
We closed May 24th, broke ground in August, and are framed up now in December. So I mean, in my head, we're going to be at a year by June,
Oh.
July, maybe this time next
Are you
year.
already, did you have your electrical walkthrough yet?
We're only framed, just got framed.
Well, it's about
So
time
the
for your
question,
So it sounds like we might be maybe a couple weeks ahead of you, but he
So what
told
comes
us-
next?
the question
Well-
you want to ask Ted, where we stalled for 5 to 6 months,
Uh-huh.
was the install of the duct work. He went
Okay.
from one HVAC contractor to another,
Okay.
and one HVAC contractor brought the stuff in on a Friday, and then Ted showed up on Monday and all the equipment was gone. And he had supply shortages during the summer in getting the duct work. So that was the massive holdup.
Okay.
Then when that was put in September, He then had to get inspection, and he tells us inspection is going to occur in 3 days, and it doesn't. And
Okay.
so that held us up since June. Yeah. Since June, it just got drywalled a few weeks ago. Some of the sliding glass door, we have it, inside sliding glass doors for a sunroom.
Uh-huh.
And doors were all wrong when we showed up for the first time 2 weeks ago. So now we're in arguments with him how to solve that problem.
What do
And
you
when
think they're gone? Like, are they at another house? Like, did they snatch them to go put in another house, or?
I don't know,
Someone
but
hauling them off?
it took the third HVAC contractor, and he said all the HVAC work was done. And then when we showed up 2 weeks ago, I said, where's the compressors outside? Oh, we don't put that in for the last few weeks.
That's true.
I said, I don't want to hear about problems. At least he had the units up in the attic. So that was a 5-month delay. And then when we do show up, all of a sudden there's a crew there that night, the day of our meeting, but we come in a night earlier and don't tell them. And we see nobody there. And since our neighbor is behind us and he shows up every day to look at his house,
Uh-huh.
he said being there every day wouldn't help you, Bruce, because I'm at month 20. You have to really, Ted had 7 houses when we signed the contract. We learned at the meeting 2 weeks ago, he has 40 houses under various stages.
Right.
And he's juggling projects, and not even who argues the loudest with him. It's more of,
We're still okay. We're in the happy state just yet, and we're planning for the worst and hoping for the best. Trying to stay happy.
my horror story is our moving company is being sold on December 31st. And so I'm in arguments between the company that has their stuff in storage and the new company that's buying that other company. And our
You should go
contract.
throw an air tag, take air tags and put in your stuff. So if it gets hauled off, you know where it is.
Well, it's already in, it's been in storage since last spring.
You
So
need a cocktail for this cocktail party.
Yeah, you definitely do. Hopefully you're drinking something really good. And
Yes.
So, yeah, please, yeah.
So HVAC and various other things, it sounds like. All right.
But that's back when COVID stuff too, and I would say that
He did tell us about that situation going in.
You really
I
have
got a question. I got a question. What makes a preferred builder? Like, I know Trust is not a preferred builder, but I know a lot of people are using Trust. What makes a preferred builder?
So the preferred builders are the builders, well, now that they basically pay that. I guess they pay the Bluffs a fee to be a preferred builder. And part of, so this is what I understand, that they're the ones that know what the rules are, what the conditions are. They vetted them. They know who's coming onto the property. There must be some kind of a contract, that goes on. Anybody that purchased before this past June, again, this is what, so if I'm wrong, if you purchased before this past June, you don't have to build with one of, I think there's 5 now, 5 or 6.
7. I think it's 7.
7.
Yeah, it's 7.
Okay, so you don't have to, you can still choose any builder. But moving June forward, you have to build with one of the preferred builders. So that's what makes them a preferred. And basically they've vetted them, and that's what seems to be the ongoing. A lot of people have been building with Trust, but they have to purchase the property before June. And then I think there's a shed rule, and all of these things are in the owner's portal, in the codicils and all different kinds of things. They're hidden. You got to work really hard to find them, but they are there.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you had to get the okie dokie to put up a fence. I thought like you have to get the okie dokie from the POA for the fence. for them to
Really?
approve it, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you do.
Even in the back.
Yes.
And the shed too.
And the shed, yeah, so the shed.
Depends on what phase you're in for the
Right.
shed.
which phase, and I think the thing about the fence also, they were talking about from a sightline standpoint. That was how the whole thing started, that things were starting, that's why they wanted the something you could see through as opposed to that, that blockade, because it just didn't look nice from the street, from the curb. It was the curb appeal.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. So I think what's happening is that some crazy things have been going up, and then after they go up and people start complaining, then they make it, they bring it to the HOA and, they bring it to the developers. Now now the new thing that we just got, and it's new to my builder, is that when we presented our facade plans to the to the committee, we also had to present our landscaping plan. Did
Mhm.
everybody have to do that as well?
Yep,
Yes.
yep,
No,
Nope.
we did.
We did with trust. Yeah.
No,
Well, we did for
Oh, yeah.
Doug.
Yeah, we did it for Doug.
So that we had to present what was going on in the front.
All around.
no,
Yeah, but yeah, anything that you could see from the street, nothing at the back. But they want to see, because evidently it was an issue that some people have been doing some crazy things and people were complaining that it was not what the developer wanted the community to look like. So now
why would that be different by builder though? That seems like that would be the same for everybody.
no, it's the rules.
Well, we didn't have to do it.
I don't know when you presented your plans.
Probably April.
did you say you were
Who are you
with,
building with? Janita, who are you building with?
Southern Pine.
the reason you don't need it with Southern Pines is he's one of the 3 architectural review board members,
Yep,
so
That-
he can get
that-
anything done at least.
that's
for
right.
Landscaping approval.
He can get it. He's one of the 3 approvers, so he's told us he can get whatever his buyers want through as long as it meets the requirements. So he doesn't worry about the landscaping to the end.
Yeah, I remember.
I think it's him, Gary, and Doug, right? Are the 3?
Yeah.
I think that's
And
right.
they meet every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that they're, so, and that's why the Southern Pines homes don't need it.
What is the shed rule? So we're putting a pool in the back and we want to have like a house to put all our chemicals and floats and whatever in. What is the rule for that?
Ooh,
Get it
good luck.
approved.
When did you purchase your property?
We purchased it in September, October
This past September, October.
of this year.
Yeah, so I know that there are rules for how big it can be and where it has to be. So the best thing to do, honestly, is to go into the owner's portal and go into the rules and regs over there. Did you buy your property through the sales office, or so who were you working with there?
Matt.
Matt, honestly, the best thing, if you have any questions, text Matt or call the sales office or call Pat.
Well, we're going, so Matt's really hard to get a hold of. So I texted him and called, and emailed him last week. We're going this next Thursday. And I said, we'd like to come through and get our key fob or like permission access to like go in. And I haven't heard from him yet.
Okay, so the person to call is Pat in the main office. She really is the one at the front gate. And again, let me pull up, hold on, let me pull up the Bluffs.
Wait, Robin, more importantly, is your builder the one that's doing the pool in the shed, or are you doing that after the fact?
No, we're doing it with the bill.
So then the builder, you could be working with the builder, I would presume, and your builder should know the rules and the regs. I would imagine it will be part of the plot plan, because you do have requirements, zoning requirements for maintaining a minimum amount of unbuilt space on your plot. There's some sort of percentage or something like that. And so I think you could at least work with the builder. Otherwise, now you're operating in the dark or you're chasing people like Matt. Your builder should be able to work with you on that, I would think.
So we emailed him probably 2 weeks ago with a list of like questions or things that we wanted to follow through on, and maybe he's still investigating. We haven't.
Yeah, he's been super busy, but Pat is really the one that has a lot of that. Let me just show you where it is in the, give me a second, I'm going to show this to you. This is in the so this is in the Bluffs community site. You'll see when you get here, the POA presentation is here. Here are the guidelines. So this is where you're going to find them. So all of these things, the design review procedure, the roof plan, you know, like all of these things are here. The landscape plan and grounds, this is required for all the construction, the size of your home. I'm just trying to find where it talks about the sheds, because that was a big deal.
Had to be purchased before a certain time frame. Your land
Before
had to-
June, yeah, it was before June. But I think you are allowed, you're allowed to have, here's the fences. Can everybody see that?
No chain link. Thank you, Jesus.
So,
Jesus.
so now you see that's the fence, that's guideline number 8. You have to have mulch in your beds, no pine straw. Let's see, pools and spas. I'm just looking to see, because we know that by law, right, you have to have a fence around the pool. So, be screened from view from all streets. So that's there. That's guideline 12. No fireworks. So far, I haven't seen anything here about sheds.
You in the beginning, Robin, you passed it. I saw it.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, look for the word storage.
Oh, that was
I'm
under storage? Okay. That's different storage. It was up here then.
Can you do text searches in here?
Wait, go back.
There it
up.
is.
Storage
there.
facility. That's a storage facility for water. Oh, storage sheds shall be prohibited unless approved. Prefab storage sheds are strictly prohibited.
So you can do something that's kind of like, I'll call it a lean-to, that's built to look like your house with matching roofing and siding materials.
That's what our neighbors did. Our next door neighbors, they just moved in. So thank God for them, because they're the ones sending us pictures of our whole construction. But they just did a shed that we loved when we saw it. And it literally is like a miniature house that has to be painted the same color as the house.
That's right.
And there's some rule about the roof line, like however the roof line pitches, and they actually got electrical run to it. So we're going to try to do the same thing. But yeah, there are strict rules about how the shed can look. You can't just buy something and stick it on the lot.
So here is this was the amendment. No storage shed shall be constructed on any lot after June 1st, 2022. And that wording was really horrible, because that's what got everybody confused. So if you purchased your property before June 1st, 2022, those rules do not apply. You still have to get approval. But so all of these things are here. You still have to get approval for the shed, but you don't have, but the other rules don't apply.
Well, you know what? And it doesn't mean that it won't get approved. It just means it has to be approved. You just can't go willy-nilly throw anything up on your property.
But does that
So-
also mean like we have, what do we have, like a Rubbermaid or some kind of like a little?
Yeah, we have a 4 foot wide by 2 foot deep, thing that we purchased at Home Depot a number of years ago. That stands 6 feet tall. Nobody would even know you could put it behind a tree. You wouldn't even know it's there. It's not like a big shed, and that's not going to be a problem. I think they're more worried about permanent structures. I mean, ours is really a temporary structure. You can plop it down anywhere, but I think they're more concerned with temporary structures that look like what Robin, you would call a she shed, You can't have your own, little house back there, a she shed, sorry.
Well, I think the house.
Apparently you can, if you get approval for it, you can. You can build like a house.
No, Robin is not going to get any approval for a she shed.
Well, that's gonna be the
There's an
he shed.
electrical
That's gonna
to
be the he shed. That's gonna be your place. You only need a little bit of space to live as long as it's tall enough.
That's where I'll
Has
be
anybody-
banished to.
Has anybody seen anything like tremendously ridiculous? Like something
No.
that's been really huge? Has anybody seen?
No.
No, but our
I
neighbors.
thought there was a
did it.
size requirement, 10 by 8 by 10 or something like that.
It's a really
awesome.
nice, they did a really nice shed. And it matches their house, because they said there were like really strict guidelines they had to
Yeah.
follow, but
Same,
Did they say
same
where they got
shingles,
it?
same roof pitch and same colors.
I think they had it, yes, it was oh my God, they told us the name of the company. It was someplace local, because they've been living in that area for months.
Nina,
That's it.
what road is that on? So that when we come there.
Fallen
again, we
Pear.
look-
It's on Fallen Pear, and it's, well, our lot is 200, so I think theirs is 201. It's a
Okay,
dark,
great.
it's a blue house, and it has a little blue shed in the back.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So yeah, I think that's one of those things, and I guess maybe there's one of the benefits of building with Southern Pines, that at least you'll probably be able to get everything approved when the time comes for that.
That's what I was gonna say. Ted told us, because we wanted to shed in ours, he gave us the name of the place to call. And I guess it's one of the connections he had. The guy knows exactly what we need. We just pretty much pay the guy, and then Ted takes care of the rest as far as doing a concrete pad and all that good stuff, and the guy delivers it.
Do you remember the name of the company?
Do not. Hold on, I can tell you.
If you
Probably
find
the
out,
same.
Sean, let us know.
I'll get it. I think Ted texted it to me.
I don't think that the little prefab Lowe's ones look bad. I mean, you could insulate it and paint it and make it match your
It's not
house, right?
because you, it's what they think.
We could doctor it up, right?
Yeah, no.
No,
Yeah, no.
backyard barn.
Backyard barns.
And
Okay.
See, Michael, that'll be big enough for you.
A backyard barn.
Backyard barn.
Sean, are they in Leland or are they in Wilmington, you know?
He didn't say.
We've got a number.
I've got a-
Okay.
So these are sheds that are built off-site?
It's backyard barns and beyond.
Yes, and brought there.
I think that's the same place that my neighbors used.
Okay, the number is 910.
Uh-huh.
You're always talking.
Do you hear me, Kevin?
Yes, 910.
240
Uh-huh.
2276.
Thank you, guys.
Well,
We'll give them a call.
So did anybody see the article? I think it was in one of that we are getting, there's a shopping center that's kind of coming. They started building in Leland.
Where is it? A Harris Teeter? I want a Harris
No,
Teeter.
I'm still
There is a
waiting.
Harris
And
Teeter.
I'm
There's a
sorry.
Harris Teeter in Leland.
Yeah.
There's
Is there-
yeah. Where is
no,
the
I
one
want
in
one
Leland?
close.
Oh, closer. So the Lowe's has started, being
that's
built.
exciting.
So that will be hopefully by, I think they said by June of 23, they're hoping. Of course, the Chick-fil-A, they're putting at Starbucks in there. Michael, where was that? You had a better idea of where that was.
All that's close to the
17.
Holiday Inn and the
Yeah.
Best Western.
It's all by that shopping over there. What's on?
On
is that
17?
Route,
74, 76.
Yeah.
We stayed at the Best Western. That's a nice hotel.
We did
Yeah.
too. We were very pleased with it.
And it's dog friendly, which was huge.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
a good referral. Thank you.
We need
And
that.
a wonderful breakfast.
Yes, they
included.
do. Yeah, they do.
That's
It was
actually
really
really
nice.
good to know.
And the-
Were they offering any specials to people from the Bluffs?
You know, we didn't even ask. We were so last minute making the reservation. I was just so happy they took a dog. I didn't even care.
Which is
It was
really,
really nice. It was very clean and the people, it was beautifully decorated for Christmas. The breakfast was included and was like a true Southern breakfast with everything, with biscuits and gravy and grits and everything. And, you know, I was really happy. And it's very like central to a lot of things if you want to go shopping or whatever. Not too far from the Bluffs, but we were only there literally whirlwind. We were like down and back in probably 3 days, which was a nightmare because it's like 24 hours of driving. But you have to do what you have to do. I'll never build a house from long distance ever again in my life, though.
no, it's crazy. Anybody have any idea what's going into that lot that finally got cleared?
Subdivision.
I know it's a subdivision, but anybody have an idea? What, no one seems to have, you know, a straight answer.
And they clear cut it, so it's gonna
Are
be.
you
no
talking about
subdivision.
Mountain Misery and Dogwood?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would bet apartments or townhouses from the size of what they cleared.
yeah, it doesn't look huge. I heard like,
No.
like smaller, like, not little houses, but, you know, a smaller development.
It'll be attached. That's big enough.
So of course, the hope, if you guys haven't been there recently, Michael, what's the intersection where they put those traffic lights, thankfully?
That was on off 140 in Mount Misery, wasn't it? They put a
Yes.
traffic light there.
That was a game changer, because when we started, there was no light there at all. And then when we were there in August, they hadn't taken like the wrapping off of it, and now that light. So I have a feeling that we're probably, hopefully, by the time many of us get in there, maybe there'll be a light somewhere on Mount Misery, like on that area, so that we can make left turns or coming out of this, because a lot more people coming. I'm hoping for lights. Who wants to vote for lights on Mount Misery?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, the community watch had the sheriff's office. I don't know if you saw it on the Facebook page. They put a speed detector. They got them to put a speed detector on Dogwood.
Oh, yay.
Well, again, it was a temporary thing. They're trying to collect data. So I think they had it there for 3 or 4 days. They weren't giving tickets or anything, but it
on
was like,
Strawberry Hill? Rob, was it on
it was
Strawberry Hill?
it was on Strawberry Hill,
Yeah.
because people have been speeding up, back and over there. So it, you know, it's like kind of
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
they
slow
need to-
down,
Strawberry-
and they were trying to get,
Strawberry Hill.
and Strawberry Hill, yeah. So they were trying to kind of get some data to see whether they needed some like some legal intervention on that road, because people have been complaining, they're like flying around those blind current, you know, it's dark over there. Even in the daylight, they're blind curves. So that's one of the things that the community watch has been doing, to trying to figure out how they can help keep everything safer over there.
And what was the team reach for that again, the number?
For the community watch,
Yeah.
community watch team reach
It
is,
was when I dropped it or whatever.
In W. W
It
section.
is it's called the Bluffs Neighborhood Watch, and it's BNW
W 77.
BNW 77. BNW 77 is the Bluffs
And the
Neighborhood.
birds was BB 77.
And the birds, oh my God, it's so much fun. The
BN
birds is
77.
BB 77. And it's great because you get to see all those. Now, the Facebook page,
List that we got at the meeting.
Michael, can you just check up just to see what it's Living in the Bluffs?
Which one?
The Facebook page for the community watch.
Shoot, I gotta go into.
Oh, I thought that was the regular Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's the regular.
The guy
Is that-
Jeff for Community Watch is Straight Talk.
Straight Talk, that's
the
what it is.
Bluffs.
Straight Talk in the Bluffs. Yeah, Straight Talk.
Straight talk
Um,
in the Bluffs.
yeah, so when you get into the Bluffs Neighborhood Watch Team Reach, scroll all the way down. The gentleman's name is Jeff Adams. And you're gonna see some really cool some really cool stuff in there about the program launch, about the stats, about traffic. There's a lot of information about the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office, which is, where you should call when things are issues. If you see anything in the community, even when you're there, checking on your home and stuff. So it's a wonderful resource. I think it's really cool. So yeah, the Cushmans had a jump. So it's exciting, it's very exciting, but I most importantly, to our Zitches, I mean, this new year is going to be very special for you guys. I want to take a toast to everybody. Jack, you guys, we're so excited for you, and please come back and
Thanks.
Thank you.
it's just everybody be happy and healthy, and this is drink away.
Cheers.
I think you need to ask your question.
Yeah, somebody had a question?
I have a question too, but go ahead first.
Actually, two questions. One quick one. Has anybody that is using TED or any independent custom contractor doing any type of independent phase inspections with a different group to do inspections?
Independent phase.
Have you had any issues, by the way? I mean, in any of your phases passing inspection, or felt like you needed to get additional help?
So the county has an inspection process, so they don't pay the builder until the county has passed the inspection. But we were asked if we were interested in an independent inspector on top of the county. And we were like, do we need that? We don't know. So anyone?
So I've actually heard from some people who were building with TED. Supposedly TED recommended it. That's what I've heard. I've heard from some other people who built with some other builders, and especially on like a resale, or they did like a lease back, that they've also done it. I have heard that a number of people are, because of what was going on during the pandemic and the inspectors were spread so thin. I haven't heard
It's
anything
just-
monumental. Like I haven't heard anything coming back that's been
I didn't know if it
monumental.
was an issue that needed to be solved or not. It feels like it's maybe not a non-issue. If we wanted to do it, that's great. It's $1,000 or something like that to do it.
You're talking about just before closing, having a home inspector look at your.
No, through the process, I think.
Phase.
Through the whole
A
process.
phase inspection, each phase, each milestone phase.
Each phase.
Now, we did in our current home that we bought that was built for us before we closed, we actually did have an independent engineering group come in and do some work. And it actually, they found a couple of things that weren't obvious that was a help, but nothing major. Okay, anyway, my second question is for all of you that have gone through kind of the custom layout, any learnings when you did your foundation in terms of the things that you might have thought of that didn't think of when you were doing your footings and foundation? Any pre-planning for electrical, plumbing? I don't know, anything. We're getting ready to have that, and I'm just thinking outside the box. Is there anything I need to be aware of, or an aha that, I could plan for that now versus wishing
Cheaper now. It's cheaper to put it in now than later.
Well, that's the reason I'm raising it is I mean, anything, I wish I'd have done that when, before we had the foundation for
Are you getting a crawl space? Or are you getting a slab?
slab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are no crawl spaces.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
that-
there are out there.
Really wanted a crawl space, and then we got talked out of it because of the problems with the seasoning of the wood that they were using for the crawl spaces. So we ended up with a slab. So, I mean,
The end of it. The end of it.
So a couple of things, that, I've been listening to
What'd you
people,
say?
Jack, because we were questioning also. So a couple of the things that, that I've heard. So one of them was about putting an electrical outlet in the closet. Suzanne, did I get that from you?
Yes,
Yes. I got that from Suzanne. Nadine, you putting one in your closet as well?
in every
closet?
closet.
In every closet?
Yes.
Why?
Why?
Charge stuff,
Back, plugging in a recharge.
to charge stuff. Of course. it'd be
Yeah.
great. It's a great idea.
Nadine, you pressed mute. You
Sorry, I hit the cough button.
Are we on?
We're on.
I like rechargeable vacuum cleaner, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent.
I like to have multiple vacuum cleaners rather than carrying them around.
Ah, good idea.
In some of the places, I had the electrical outlets raised up a little bit off of the floor so that I wouldn't have to bend, I'm thinking when I'm 70 or 80 that I don't have to lean over to plug. Well, hey, listen, I mean, this is not something I thought about when I moved into this house, but if I have, I've been listening to other people's comments of if I have the choice to ask to do it.
You won't have to break down and use the electrical outlet to plug.
Yeah.
We did it in the laundry room, like where an ironing board would be.
Yeah,
'cause,
for the iron, yeah.
Yeah, for the iron. So I figured
That was more the electrical walkthrough. That wasn't the foundation part.
No.
Well, but it matters for the foundation because with a slab, everything comes up through the concrete. So
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff coming up.
Electrical doesn't.
I don't know how they did it, but
No, that has to be done.
Yeah.
Nina, you cut in and out. What did you have a lot of?
we had a lot of options for electrical with Ted. I mean, whatever, we didn't actually tell him anything before he did the slab foundation, but we did just do our electrical walkthrough last week. And we went through every room, and I have to tell you, we have a lot of outlets going on. And he did ask me at one point before this about the outlet in the middle of the living room floor, the open,
Yes.
there's no place to plug anything in if you wanted a lamp or something next to your couch.
Christmas tree.
Yeah, well, that could probably be over on the side, but like definitely you would want, if you had seating in the middle of the room, you would need something.
Right.
Like a lamp.
Good.
We got one outlet in the middle of the room. I don't know, some people might want two, but that's definitely.
No, that's a
something.
good suggestion.
Yeah.
I've been interested.
It's expensive to cut concrete and put a new one in.
Yeah, it is.
So any place you think you might eventually want to sink, make sure that you have plumbing and a drain there, supplying.
Yeah.
a drain there, putting one in
Yeah.
the garage for that purpose. I'm putting 220 in the garage.
Yeah, that too. We're doing that also.
Want a dedicated outlet for, because we're putting a golf cart bay at the front of the garage. Want to make sure that we have an independent circuit for a charger. And that's not like, charging a Tesla. We don't have electric cars or anything, but
The neighbors put in a 50-watt outlet for a future electric car.
Right.
Yeah.
Which might be something to think about down the road too.
2050 amp will do it.
And even if you put a refrigerator in the garage, don't you need like a special voltage for a refrigerator?
No, I think that's
Not a
what Ken-
refrigerator, but there are some appliances that you would.
Yeah.
Somebody also
Yeah,
asked
have it
me-
on a dedicated line, but it doesn't have to be a special voltage.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you were gonna do a shop or whatever in your garage, you'd probably want a dedicated circuit.
Somebody also asked me, they sent me an email about, has anybody talked about sealing their garage floors, sealing their concrete floors?
We did talk about that because my husband is determined to have the fancy garage floor, which you have to pay extra for. So we saw the coating. We saw the included coating that came with the next door neighbor's garage floor, and that did not meet my husband's standards. So we are getting whatever extra coating we have to get for the garage floor.
So is anybody, because they bought their garage floor, they bought a lease back. So somebody had spoke, evidently there's somebody in the community that seals the floors.
It does.
And
Yes.
Hagen already, it comes already.
Yeah.
it
And then we're
comes
gonna
already
insulate
sealed.
the garage as well, so it'll really nice. That's where I'm gonna end up living, I guess.
Yep.
You won't be the only one living in the garage.
At least you know now, Randy.
Hey, listen, you know what? It's this way you don't have to
Plan
get
ahead.
approval for an extra, for an extra building. Vicky, are you guys gonna put on any kind of, are you gonna do any kind of fencing for the dogs or any kind of?
Right now, we don't have a dog, so we haven't really thought about fencing. We'll probably leave it open.
Anybody putting in pools or?
We're putting in a pool, and Randy, you'll be at our house, so don't worry.
I'll bring the beer.
All right.
Yeah, you're like steps away from each other. Yeah, it's all good. And I think Randy, I think I did tell you, I guess I had asked you about the no wake zone. while we were there, there was like, there was a boat that was like flying back and forth.
Yeah.
So I think what I was told is that by the time, it has to be a certain number of houses that have docks on the water. And then we'll be able to, the community will be able to apply for that zoning. Because it was loud. That boat was loud.
It was.
It was loud, but they're not, nothing's been there for a very long time. Anybody know what's going on with that property, that island, that Rhone Island that's across, that's on sale?
Well, that's not Rhone Island. That's the one.
Oh, that's the other one. Okay.
The Rhone Island that's in, what is that county? It's not Brunswick County.
Hanover?
Oh, yeah, so whatever that island thing that's next to us that has the for sale sign on it.
Yeah.
Only
I thought that was a bird sanctuary.
Yeah, I didn't think it was inhabitable.
Well, it's not inhabitable. They say it's either for agriculture
Recreation.
or hospitality.
by helicopter.
Yeah, by boat or helicopter.
By boat or helicopter. Yeah, you would, I guess you'd have to boat over there. Well, actually, there was a
Good
rumor
environment.
going around that the Solis family was purchasing it and that they were going to open a restaurant and a spa over there, right, Vicky? Weren't you gonna?
I think
Wait,
that would be possible
They
by
think somebody can land a helicopter there?
Oh, I was gonna say that.
He might have said it.
enough money,
Yeah, absolutely.
put a pad in.
You make it happen.
Yep.
Hey, but yeah,
That's all we
whatever.
need. So much for peace and quiet.
Yeah, I don't know. Could you imagine what goes on there, like high tide or during a storm? I mean, I don't think you could really put anything.
I was thinking we could do a zip line from the pavilion over there.
That would be kind of cool.
Perfect.
Hey, listen, once the developers are gone, we could probably do almost anything,
Yeah.
anything that.
We won't need permission.
Yep. We won't need permission, but look, these are all, I'm gonna turn the recording off.